Okay, so this is week one. Sorry for the delay there. This is week one of our 10-week summer session in English 112. And so it'll be like English 111, except for now we're focusing on literature and pretty much everything that you're going to be writing as an argument. And that's what a lot of students really struggle with. But you need to try to prove something in each of your papers and your journals. And we'll talk more about that as we progress through. You'll see that there's going to be a good number of resources for you under course documents that are videos, lectures, that sort of thing to help you along the way. And one thing that a lot of students make the mistake of assuming in summer semesters is that it's 10 weeks, so it must be easier. Unfortunately, what the reality is 10 weeks, and we're cramming 15 weeks of material into that 10 weeks. And so falling behind by a week, not watching the lectures, all of that stuff is a recipe for disaster. 15-week semester, it gets you in a little bit of trouble, but you can recover. Anything beyond that, especially in a 10-week semester, you're going to be in some trouble. So make sure that you take a look at the syllabus. That's there. The course schedule, also under the syllabus tab, will highlight your readings for each individual week. And then also every week, you're going to be doing a discussion board. And essentially the instructions are under the discussion board tab. But essentially what happens is Monday or Sunday night, depending, the discussion board becomes available. You have until Wednesday, and you're going to post a webcam video of that, and so there are instructions for that under course documents as well. And then by Friday, you should have responded to 2 other webcam posts in text, 200 to 300 words, and that will get you your 15 points for the week. So each individual post is essentially 5 points. By Friday night or Saturday morning, the discussion board turns off, so you're not able to access it, and then the next one comes on again. And so make sure that you're keeping up with everything. I had students last semester in my 15-week class never watch any of these announcement videos, and then they email me and say, so what am I supposed to be doing? I don't understand. Or they would miss things, kind of like, the exam, that sort of stuff. And so if you put this class on the back burner, okay, or if you ignore portions of the class, you're going to find yourself not doing too well in the course. I'll try to send out reminders and that sort of stuff, and every week I'll post a video announcement to help you out. The discussion board this week is fairly straightforward. Do your readings, and the topic requires you to do a little bit of poking around on Google and finding out some material and so on. So that's the first thing that you need to do this week. Just think about the discussion board. You're going to have a film journal coming soon, so you may want to budget some time for that and read about the film journal assignment. There's a film journal assignment, there's a film journal presentation, if I remember correctly, and there's an example film journal that's out there as well. You'll notice that for 112 in particular, I don't give you perhaps finite instructions like you may have experienced in 111, where you're writing introduction, 3 body paragraphs, conclusion, that sort of stuff. By now you should have gotten all that down. It's time to start becoming a little more complex in your papers. The first 2 will naturally be around 5 or 6 paragraphs. By the time we get to our last 2 papers, the word count has increased significantly, and you're expected to think of your paper as one sort of large fluid organism, and that you're kind of going through argument after argument to prove your main point. And so that's kind of the nitty-gritty, of course. As always, feel free to contact me. I'm off campus over the summer for most of the summer, so what you want to do is instead send me emails and send them whenever questions come up to you. If you send me an email and you're like, I don't understand what happened, and the first thing I say is, did you watch the video for this week? That should be a pretty good clue that you need to watch the video. Now, if you've seen the video and you still have questions, then I'll answer those questions. But I'll also do a check to make sure, because I do know in an online class people try to not budget their time, but minimize their time spent on a particular class. And so again, I would be not surprised if somebody told me about half to 3/4 of all the videos I upload go completely ignored. But everything I talk about should be available every week at the beginning of the week on Mondays or early Sundays, and then setting you up for the rest of the week. Again, the presentations are all there. The first thing you need to do is familiarize yourself, with the syllabus. All of the policies that are in there for late assignments, for missing assignments, all of that stuff. And basically, in a nutshell, don't do it. Plagiarism, ditto, don't do that. All of those sorts of things you need to be aware of. So make sure you go through the syllabus. Make sure you go through the course schedule. If you have any questions, feel free to ask those, but make sure that you're viewing the videos as you go along. And again, I'll highlight different things that you need to watch each individual week. Otherwise, good luck. We're going to be going through this pretty quickly throughout the entire semester. And so it would behoove you, as you're reading your material, to be taking notes for future papers, for your midterm or for your final exam, all of that stuff. And so just kind of keep in mind that you're not reading stuff to forget it. You're reading it to remember it. And so the best students have taken notes. I know you don't want to mark up your book, and that's perfectly fine. But, take notes out of the book, highlight passages in the book, et cetera, et cetera. And you should be good. So don't just read it to get it done. Read it to make sure you know what you're talking about. So that's everything for this week. For me, again, if you have any questions, feel free to email me. Otherwise, I will post another video next week.